Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today I have for you message of alignment 303. We are in the March 30 and this is actually a very interesting day when it comes to numerology. So those of you who are resonating with it, you will get some practical steps how you may feel right now and what you can do with all of that. Even if you're not into it at all, it will still be helpful, practical and inspiring. So firstly, in numerology, number 3 is symbolizing the kind of enhancement or the need to enhance the world with your talent and inspiration. So often when it comes to number 3, it comes to the remembrance or a reminder that you have talents within, that it's not just, what you're doing on a daily basis. It's not just who you've been told to be. It's also who you came here to be. That is something very important to be reminded of, because so many times you experience this sense of an inner calling. You experience a need to start doing more of what nurtures your fire, what nurtures your passion, what nurtures your love for life, but then because of other responsibilities, you ignore it. It doesn't stop calling you. So my friend, this is a sign of encouragement and support for you, suggesting that you're on the right path and to trust in your abilities to persevere through anything that appears in your life towards your desires. So if you're ready for this, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we will go further. So 0 represents that you can draw insights from the unified field of infinite potential, quantum field, 0-point field, or you can also call it God or universe, whatever resonates with you. It means that when you're not so caught up in your identity, you're also infinite, right? You're made out of unconditional and conditional self. So most people spend most of their time in their conditional identity. It's something they've conditioned themselves to be and their environment have conditioned themselves to be. It's how you explain yourself. It's how you kind of introduce yourself. But deep inside, it's your awareness. It's an unconditional self. And every time you take time and to think about what would be more ideal version of yourself, you start shaping a new identity out of unconditional self, out of your imagination, your creative thinking. And it becomes very powerful if you kind of become devoted to self-transformation, creative transformation, because you know you can always be more. Today, you may just feel more connected with this idea that actually you feel inspired for change. Actually, you feel inspired to show up as an individual who's connected to life, to show up as someone who came here with a gift, someone who came here with a need to be the change, to spark minds of others with your own unique gifts. And that's why we have 2 threes today. 3 threes called the master teacher, which means when you find something that really speaks to you, what will awaken a sense of passion within you is to become really good at it. Really good at it. Like if it's a sport, if it's a hobby, if it's anything you were called to do, through consistent work, eventually you will become very, very good at it. And some of you may just experience like you want to teach others. Some of you are born teachers. Some of you have come here to guide others. Those are usually known as the light workers or light warriors. For those of you, it is a calling to really master a skill, to become so good at what you love to do that you will start standing out with it. But then there's also 6, right? 3 plus 3 is 6. And 6 is also known in some numerological teachings as the mother of all numbers, because it is creating bonds, it's making bonds, connecting people. That's why it's also known as love. So also there's a spark of connection. So when you learn certain skill, whatever it is, that make you more valuable in the society, in the family of human beings, there is another desire that is born within you, which is an act of service. You want to be of service, you want to contribute, you want to give something to others, you want to provide something. And because we are in this eclipse season right now, you may feel even more in tune with this idea how important it is to connect like-minded people. It doesn't mean you should do something, like you should build a community, but it means it would be so much easier if you become a part of the community, if you connect with the right minds, if you exchange information and support one another. And maybe sometimes when you feel alone, just find a way to make someone else's day special, because it just reminds you that you're not alone on this world. You shouldn't stay alone. Like, the thing is that as all the cells in your body learn that they can actually function much better if they come together and they unify an intention to create a healthy organism, so everything can function, and therefore you can reach so much more than one single cell could. So through the time and evolution, it created you. You become a byproduct of a unified, of a connection, of unity between all these different types of cells that are making you. And that's what's happening in the society right now. Slowly, individuals started to notice, well, together we can make so much more. So let's build communities, let's build organizations, let's build whatever can help us to really serve, to really make this world a better place, to really become more than we used to be, in a good sense, in a coherent way. That's why resilience is important so much, because it reminds us that sometimes even suffering is important. Sometimes going through loneliness, it will only introduce you to the idea that your old friends were maybe not your true friends. So you needed to let go of certain people to recognize what you truly want, what you truly want to do, who you truly are, a self-discovery. So then you can recognize with what kind of people you actually resonate. And then you also learn to adapt a little bit. You think about what you can give to the world. What is your unique contribution that can happen, right? What you can provide, because relationships are about exchange, not just about receiving. So resilience is so important because it reminds us that there are no perfect people. If you're waiting for perfect people, you're living in an illusion. We're living in a world where everyone is kind of shaping ourselves, working on ourselves, healing ourselves, which means we all have certain flaws, we all have certain weaknesses, and it's okay. As long as you're working on yourself, you will understand that. So when you will come together with other people that also have certain weaknesses and flaws, it will be much easier to understand that it's completely okay. And it's just important to know your boundaries and to learn to stay strong in your own pillar. To recognize, are you conscious in your own capacities? Like, for example, empathy is a very important emotion and skill to master. Many people are unconsciously empathic, and therefore everything around them may affect them. Like, they have poor boundaries, and therefore they not often really speak their mind, speak their truth. And therefore everything is kind of manipulating them. So if you find yourself like that, I want to remind you to become more conscious of your empathy. Empathy is an interesting skill because it can help you also to mirror the world around you. Like when you find someone who's admiring, someone who's inspiring, someone who's skillful, you can just adapt his skills easily or her skills easily, because you're mirroring the world around you. That's why when a sad person comes to you, you easily become sad. When a happy person comes to you, you easily become happy. It's all about reminding yourself of how interestingly you're functioning. There are so many skills you still can develop. And another thing is to also know that you're never alone on this journey. I'm sure you've heard about this, but still many of you just don't believe that because you've never experienced a connection maybe with something bigger, like when synchronicities start happening. What's really going on? What's going on there? When you experience a guidance that you don't know where it is coming from. That's how life navigates you. You all have guides with you. You all have ancestors helping you. Not many of you truly believe that because you've never experienced that, but you can try it out. You can ask them for a sign that will be the most noticeable for you, understandable for you. You can give an intention, like if you're really with me, you can give an intention to your guides, like if you're really with me, show me a sign today that I will be able to recognize and understand that it came from you. And then just see how your day will go, and you really play with that. Because if you really start noticing that you are being guided, you may start to trust more the events that are unfolding in your life. When they don't unfold the way you would like, it still doesn't mean they're not unfolding the way they should for the greatest possible growth in your life, which reminds you of resilience, right? Resilience truly comes out of trust. It's not so much a fighting state, like I will endure this, I will make it happen. It's more like trusting that things are working out in my favor. Even though it doesn't look like that, eventually we always find it out, right? So just be reminded that you're not alone, and you can actually use the guidance. You can ask them for signs. You can really sit down in quietness and just maybe give an intention to them. Like, I want to know that what I'm doing is right. So give me this kind of a sign. Be really precise, like something that speaks to you. Something, like if today I will see a blue butterfly somewhere, I will know it came from you, and it will be a sign for me that I'm doing it right. Or show me a coin somewhere where it will be completely unexpectedly, so I can know that what I'm doing is right. Or whatever resonates with you the most. And then really be playful with that. See what happens. Be open-minded. It's just to test a little bit how everything works, because we're all a little bit, curious about all of that, and maybe skeptical, and it's okay. It's okay. I don't want anyone to just blindly believe stuff, because it doesn't work. But testing everything may help you to believe more into yourself, to see what works and let go of what doesn't work, what doesn't resonate with you. So today, as we have this alignment, I wanted to remind you that you may be more connected with your talents. To just to know that if you really want to experience the magnificence of life, the joy of life, nurture them, work on them, because they are partially connected with the purpose that will make your life very meaningful. Meaning doesn't just come, It's not just something that happens. We make life meaningful when we start to do more of what we love to do. And when we really reflect on what you're ignoring about yourself, your daily life, or why you're not doing what you love, it's usually because you haven't scheduled it. We all live certain routines. And routines are habits that have been developed through certain repetitive behaviors, right? But if you find yourself being more empathic, you may also find yourself that most of your behaviors were not dictated by you, but by people around you, because you were adapting to them. And at some point, you need to come to the emotional maturity where you start using also your empathy more consciously, where you become also empathic towards yourself, like become a good listener towards yourself, so you can notice something is speaking to me within me. Like in the past, I've started painting because this awakened within me. And sometimes if it is hard for you, maybe reflect on your childhood. What were the things you were dreaming about? What were the things you truly loved to do? And think about if at some point you've stopped doing it because of certain responsibilities, and could you schedule your time right at this moment so you could do more of it, and see what happens when you start doing more of it. Maybe childlike curiosity will awaken, and it will only remind you of your inner child that also want to be expressed as much as everything else. And you will notice every time you express it, you experience an immense joy, immense flow happens, immense passion moves through you. And this is a new energy, this is the new you, the future self that is calling you into existence so you can become more than you are right now. This is the purpose of evolution, right? And through the time you will also master it. You will become very, very good at it, and allow spontaneous events to lead you to wherever all of this that will kinda, whatever will kinda happen out of everything you've started doing. At some point you will notice it will start connecting you with others who are maybe doing something similar, or maybe you will find yourself in a position of a teacher. Whatever may happen, just be perceptive, be open, and be kind of curious, like where all of that will take you, right? The number 6, it's about family, it's about making bonds, it's about making connections. So it's also a reminder that sometimes if we've never learned to make connections with others, it's because we're lacking the right skill, we're lacking maybe the right intellectual understanding of how to talk, how to speak, how to express ourselves, the emotional intelligence. So it's very important if we study certain subjects that can help us to open up a little bit more, to become more communicative. It doesn't mean that all of you should be social. Some of you are thriving the most when you're alone, and it's completely fine. I find myself in that position as well. I thrive the most when I'm alone, when I'm creative, when I'm in my studio, when I'm in nature and brainstorming and, connecting the dots. I thrive the most there. But I also have such an incredible time when I have these deep connections with others, when I have deep conversations with others. And sometimes you just can't resolve a challenge alone. It's just so helpful when you talk about what you're going through with someone. And for those of you who haven't found that someone, it's also a sign for you that maybe you're ready to get yourself out there into the world and open up to new circles, open up to new communities, open up to new possibilities. Like, who knows, maybe you will start going into the gym and you will meet an incredible person there. You never know. The point is that you open up, right? So may this sign today be a message for you to open up your mind, open up your heart. And practically speaking, to open up your mind, it means to stop being so limited by your beliefs. Like, nothing works. In the recent 5 years, nothing interesting happened. Yeah, okay. But who said that in the next few years nothing will happen? I have 2 friends, a bit older one, that both were alone, lonely, and they wanted to meet that special person. And for most of their lives, they were like thinking there is no one for them. And today they are both happily in such an incredible relationship. There is timing for everything. And sometimes we try to predict, and because we can't make up a possibility, we just lose faith. But open-mindedness means that you always find a reason to have faith for yourself, for your future, having that vision for the future. Take a piece of paper and write down the ideal future you are walking towards. Not because you wait when these things will happen, but to have something to look up for. To know that if you can come up with these incredible ideas with your mind, maybe also you can experience them. Experiment a little bit with possibilities, because it is very interesting what may happen. I always remind you of that, because to me, many magical things happen because I've started believing in possibilities. From the other side, if we don't believe into possibilities, we become very closed-minded. And when we are closed-minded, what happens? Nothing is interesting, nothing is meaningful. We lose faith. And when there's no faith, when you don't believe into something bigger than yourself, then you make yourself the biggest part of your life. You become very self-centered and very narcissistic. And when it happens, nothing will really move you. So I don't want you to stay there. So open up your mind. And sometimes just new information can help us with that. A good book, a good maybe video, maybe this video, maybe a good meditation where you just quiet down your brain and just focus on breathing and remind yourself, I am here. I am here. That's all that I am. I am here. What all I could be if I would be more present in my life, if I would be more open-minded. And to be open-hearted, it means stop being so emotionally reactive. Yes, you've been in a survival for such a long time maybe, but it doesn't mean you should stay like that. Work on emotional resilience as well. Like, open-hearted means that you firstly start listening to your heart. What does your heart say? And then you start saying yes to it. And more you say yes to it, more that flower of your heart will start opening, seeing the light of the sun, of the world, of possibilities. And when this starts happening, you will start also noticing synchronistic events, serendipities will start happening. Because why? You've started doing things differently, right? When you say yes to your heart, you can't be the same person anymore, because you start doing what you've never done before. You start doing more of what resonates with you and less of what doesn't. And of course, if you're not the same person anymore, it means you can't say yes to the same things as you did before, which means an awareness of boundaries needs to take place, right? Awareness of boundaries needs to take place. When you have healthy, strong boundaries, you know what is yours and what's not yours. You can easily release what is not yours. You can choose which story you're living in. You live the life of your dreams and you make your own rules. This is a demonstration of healthy boundaries. You make your own rules for yourself. You don't follow orders of others. You make your own orders. You order yourself who you are becoming. So know that, my friend. To be a master teacher, master your emotions, master your mind, and become a servant of your heart, right? This is the most powerful thing you can do. Open up, my friend, and create healthy bonds on this world. So one day when we connect, we'll see this web that is healthy, that is strong, that is magnificent. My friends, I hope you found great value in today's video. I hope you've enjoyed in today's artwork as well. The name of today's painting is the dragon. Obviously, you see a dragon. And you can read the whole meaning, which is very interesting and to me powerful, on our site AttractPassion.com. You can type in the search dragon and you will find this painting. Check it out. And also, if you would like to get a copy of it, you can order a print of this painting in different sizes. So check it out, my friends. Have a wonderful day, and till next time, one love. Hey my friends, I hope you've enjoyed in today's video. I want to remind you that we've just opened a fresh new store called AttractPassion.com, where you can find all of my work. Original paintings, you can find prints of all of my art, in different sizes, so go there and check it out, AttractPassion.com. If you will use the code PASSION15, you will get 15 off onto your first order. So go there and check it out. And to anyone who would love to work with me one-on-one, I'm offering one-on-one coaching. We have some free spots once again. You can go and check out the link in the description of this video where you can find everything there. So go and check it out. If you would like to do something with the inspiration that you feel right now, it will help you so much to transform your life. I want you to do something with it. If you feel inspired, you have to do something with it. So my friends, till next time, one love.